That would be awesome. So it feels a little dark in here to me. I guess I got my regular lights. It's okay. I need to put a light in over there. Does that lamp go on?
Yes. I think I just changed the bulb.
If that lamp went on, that would be awesome. Because I think that would give it just a little bit more light. I think that helps a little bit too. Hi, Kyra, Vi, Chrissy. Hello, hello, hello. Mary Beth, howdy. Thanks for jumping in. Got Houdat stopped by the clinic today. Good to see you.
Hi,
Lori
Chrissy.
in Ohio.
Got your package.
Got your package right here. We're going to open that here in a few minutes. Thank you so much. Don't know what's in here. Feels good, though. Maybe it's some fishing lures.
Oh, maybe so.
Maybe not. But we'll find out here in a few minutes. And got Robin, Karen, Suzanne, Patsy, Seeker, and lots and lots of moderators. It's always good to have plenty of moderators. I tell you what, I don't think we can have too many. Robin says, hi, DW.
Tell them I'm not getting on if they're going to shut me down.
Oh,
time out.
She wants to log in, but she doesn't want to be put in timeout, she says. I'm feeling a little bit, what's the word? So I had those injections on Saturday. They included some steroids. So a little bit on edge today because of that. And so made it kind of more challenging today to be cordial, but I worked hard at it. And so it was a decent day. It was a very busy day. So I wanted to give you an update on our patient that we had who came in from Austin. You guys going? Okay.
Yep.
Are you going to be online?
I'm making online in a minute.
Okay. Okay.
But anyway, maybe I'll see you guys in a little while.
Okay. All right. So I just thought I'd jump online here and kind of give you a little wrap up for today. It was a really interesting day. No, the site's not painful at all. From the block standpoint, it was a real high up injection. I'm not getting that headache pain. That seems to be improved. So I'm hopeful that the block from a effectiveness standpoint seems to be okay. The problem that I have is the medicine that was used, the corticosteroid, tends to make me feel real on edge, and it takes a few days for that to go away. So it'll be fine. I'll have the weekend to kind of decompress and relax and do all of that. So I'll be okay. A few things. The first thing I wanted to mention was we had a patient that was scheduled to come in from Austin today. He had sent us some pictures, a super nice guy, and looked like he probably had a pilar cyst on the scalp. And he came in, and I had a chance to examine him and meet him, and super nice guy. And I'm not going to give you his name, but it turned out that the structural issue did not feel at all like a cyst or even a lipoma. In fact, it felt very osseous. It felt almost like these were bony or perhaps fibrous in nature. He'd had them for a long time. He'd never had any drainage or anything like that. So I was not convinced that we were dealing with a pilar cyst or even a lipoma. So the next step was to go ahead and order an ultrasound for him and see if we can get some more information about what he has before we make an incision. We did talk about that as a possibility, doing an incision just for diagnostic purposes. And he said he'd rather wait and get the ultrasound. And I said, I think that's probably fair. And so I felt bad that he had to drive in from Austin, which is about an hour and a half drive for him. But we did take care of him, and we got him set up for an ultrasound. And we also gave him a complimentary bottle of Meta-7 and some essential multivitamins to help defray his trip time. And but a super nice guy, and I hope that if we're not able to help him, that we'll at least get him the answer that he's looking for as to what's going on. And if it is something that needs to be done, if we're not able to do it, then we'll get him to the right place. And so that's always always a good suggestion. So let's see, never saw the ear video. Okay, so the ear video is on my desktop. It's not been edited. And the reason it's not gotten over to the editors is because I actually would like to edit it myself. And so I'm waiting for the right time. Possibly this weekend I will do it. But what happened was, as we were getting ready to leave, we'd already had all our instruments out. We were all ready for him. And then we had somebody else, actually somebody that we know in the clinic, who said, "Hey, doc, can you take this off for me?" And she was just asking. She had a mole. It looked like a mole. But it was a little bit larger than usual, and she was a bit conscientious about it, and it was bothering her. So I said, "I'd be happy to take it off. Why don't you go right over in that room right there?" And she's like, "Now?" And I said, "We're ready to go. Let's do it." And she was all, "Okay, let's do it." She was pretty excited to get it taken care of. So we did that. And so that video we got, and I've just uploaded that and sent that off to the editor. So hopefully that'll be available soon. And, hopefully you'll enjoy that. So at least we didn't have to re-autoclave everything for, without it having been used. So that was good. And so I think all in all, it turned out okay. Less than ideal, but definitely on the right track to, practicing good medicine for our patient who came in from Austin. So we'll update you as we know more about that situation. I also want to say I received an email, and I'm not going to share the email, but just to say I want the person who sent the email to know that I read your email. It was a really long email, and it talked about a lot of history, but it didn't have any particular questions for me to answer. I just felt like she wanted to share that with me, and I was glad to read through it. And so if you sent that email and you know who I'm talking about, thank you for sharing. And I was moved by your story. And so if you actually have a question that you want to ask, you guys know you can always ask me a question. If you send me information just to tell me about yourself and you want to share your story with me, that's wonderful. I'm always happy to listen and read. And if you have a question, I'll answer those for you to the best of my ability. If you just need like a little assistance on what's the next step, where should I go from here, that kind of thing, I'm happy to do that. And I do so in a general kind of format, so that you understand, and everybody understands that no doctor can give you medical information in this kind of format that's personally for you, or medical advice is the word I'm looking for. But there's nothing wrong with us saying, "Hey, you know what? Why don't you talk to your doctor about these few ideas," and just give them some suggestions to take back to their physicians. And I'm happy to do that in those cases. So I hope I said hi to everybody. And James Bland is writing a song. I hope it's not about being put in timeout. So good to see you guys. Bonnie and Vanessa, hi. I think Heron, hi, welcome. ARF. Heron, what does ARF stand for? I hope it doesn't stand for acute renal failure, because we had a patient in this week with acute renal failure. That was, no, I'm not tired. Not tired. Just, I will tell you, one of my patients, maybe just a little emotionally kind of drained a little bit, and you guys will help me with that. But a few months ago, I had a patient who came in for a routine physical. Super nice guy. I know the family, wonderful family, love them all. And he had some unusual labs, and we came back and we ran some additional tests, including a biopsy. And unfortunately, we found pancreatic cancer. We got him into MD Anderson Cancer Center, which is the premier cancer center in the Houston area, in my opinion. There are others, but I think they are the largest, and they're certainly internationally known. And to make a long story short, he was completely inoperable. The pancreatic cancer had already metastasized. He's already stage 4. And he's on hospice. And I found out yesterday that the cancer doctors had given him 2 to 4 weeks left of life, and that was all. And he'd already passed 2 weeks. And so I called and spoke with his darling wife and said, "Look, I I would love to come over and I would love to visit with you all. And I'd like an opportunity to say goodbye. And she was very, very happy about that. She thought that that would be wonderful. And I went, and the DW and our friend Christina is in town, and Abby was working on a video. And so I took, they're only about 10 minutes away from us. So I went and had a visit. You know, you start out and it's a sad time, but then you begin to talk and you share your experiences, my experiences with my losses and his experience with his life, and talking with his wife and how they are dealing with this situation, with the fact that he's at the end of his life now. And they're Christians, and they believe that they can still be healed, and that is always true. And I believe in Jesus Christ, and I believe in God, and I believe that God heals people, and not everybody gets healed. Sometimes it's not the will of God that somebody be healed, and sometimes you know, this, when they get that diagnosis, or where we give them that bad news, that's going to be what happens. And he was in a very peaceful place, and we talked, and I hugged him, and I told him, I said, I pray for you that you have a very peaceful transition to what I believe is where you're going to a better place, that you're going to have a new body and a new life, and that this is not the end. And so then we got to talking, and he was not afraid. Chrissy, that's a marvelous question. And that was so remarkable. His faith is so strong, and they are so wonderful that we were able to share memories and talk about families and talk about life. And we shared his trips. He'd been to Alaska several times, and I've been once, and we compared notes about our trips. And so he got to relive that, and I got to relive that a little bit, and from my trip, and it was a good time. And then I just said, I said to him, I said, I really want to say goodbye to you. I really want you to know that I'm going to be here for your family. I'm going to be here for your darling wife, and love you, and I love your family. And you know, it was special. It was a joy to be able to share. It's an honor. It's a privilege as a doctor to be accepted that way, and to be able to share, care for one another as human beings, and to give him, you know, the message. My message is that I'm still going to be here for your family. And he said that I started working 20 years ago to make sure that if anything ever happened to me, that she would be okay, meaning his wife. And he had great peace about that. And we even talked about things like, hi.
Did I ask you if we could go to the farmer's market?
I said maybe. Remember? I said probably. Abby's stepping in. She wants to go to the farmer's market in the morning. So we'll probably do that. Okay, unless we come up with something better to do, okay? So I took the opportunity to let him know that the care that he has seen from me in my clinic will continue for his family. So I wanted him to know that. And when I left, I had this joy. I felt this incredible joy. And wow, you don't expect that. You just, you know, it's just so amazing when somebody is at peace and they're in a good place, and we realize that we all know that we're going to come to an end, and we're all someday going to be sitting in that chair and down to our last few weeks, and we're going to be making plans for our loved ones after we're gone. And so That's where he is. And I told him, I said, if you need me for anything, you call. His darling wife has my cell phone number. I said, just call. I said, if you need anything, and he's on hospice. And so they're wonderful. Hospice is wonderful. And this particular hospice group that's helping him, they're doing a marvelous job, and I know them well. So I feel like he's in tremendous hands. And, but I also let him know if he had any issues or concerns, or if she has any issues or concerns, don't hesitate. I'm literally 12 minutes away. It was a 12-minute drive. They have family members that actually live in their same neighborhood, 4 or 5 houses down. So he did have one incident where he had fallen out of the chair, but they were able to get him up easily. And so that didn't turn out to be a bad situation. But anyway, so if I look a little bit emotional, if I look a little bit drained, maybe some of it's because it's Friday, okay, you know, but I did do that a little earlier today. So that's probably what you're seeing. And but in my spirit, in my heart, really, I think I'm at peace about it. And if he gets healed, if he gets a healing, then I'll be right there too. I mean, I'm gonna share in his excitement. But if things go the way they're supposed to go, and probably will go, I'm still going to be there. And in many ways, it's a celebration for him and his family because of their faith, and they know where he's going. And so my prayer for him, and what I told him, was that I pray for that you have a peaceful transition, and that you have a good death. And I told him that, and he thanked me for that. And so I think a lot of times as physicians, we don't want to talk about death and dying. We want to not talk about that, but that's a part of life. That is part of what we're all going to experience. And in all likelihood, we're not going to, you know, continue in these bodies, and they're going to break down, and something's going to go wrong at some point, and we're each going to come to our end. And you know, and so I think that it's okay, right? It's okay. It's what's supposed to happen. So I got that out, and I wanted to share that with you guys because you guys are wonderful, and you have tremendous spirits and hearts. And so if you want to pray for that family, I would appreciate it. So so what else happened today? I got a box here. And I believe this box is from Chrissy. So I'm going to get to open this box and find out what's inside. We actually received this, I think, yesterday. And it wasn't, I didn't have a chance to come on, or we had some things come up yesterday evening, and it made it sort of difficult. So I saved this for today. So we're going to be opening that in a few minutes. So I'm excited about that. Can't wait to find out. And I got an email from Sue, and she says she hoped that my neck was doing fine. She said that I looked like I was doing well on my videos, and she wanted me to help her facilitate getting her records from here in the good old USA. And she wants her surgery notes and results of tests, etc., from both Tomball Hospital and from Dr. Patel. And she said she wasn't basically given any, probably because while she was here, those records were not yet completed and available. So we will make sure that we help her get that accomplished. And she also wanted to talk about some dates to come for a visit to Texas again. So I think that'll be a lot of fun. And she said, lots of love, fabulous weekend, and see us all Sunday online. So we're looking pretty good for our 2 o'clock U.S. Central Time health and nutrition discussion for those of you that like to participate in that. So that should be going on. This email was pretty interesting. So I got a phone call from the nice lady from the production company. I'm not supposed to share the name of the production company. I'm not sure why they don't want the name scared, but or shared. So I'm not going to tell you the name. But she called me and said that the company had gone through a little bit of personnel changes. She had told me up front that she was sort of a long-term contractor with them, that she was not actually an employee with the company, but that they would send her off on frequent assignments, like she had coming with us and getting the video that she got, the 25 hours worth of video, in fact. And she said that that she was leaving the company. They were doing some change-ups, and that she would no longer be working as my point of contact, but that somebody else would contact me. And I told her that that I would do my best to make sure that if this came to fruition, that I did everything I could to try to get her back involved, because we thought she was fantastic. We really thought she was amazing, and would love to have her involved if that happens. So this is a follow-up from them, and the gentleman introduced himself and said he'd be taking over as the point of contact through their staffing transition. And this is really an encouraging message. She said, although we have yet to meet, I have worked alongside, and the name of Our Lady, throughout the duration of this project, as well as in development here in general, for over a decade prior, and very much want you to know that we're extremely excited about this collaboration with you and fully intend to continue to treat it with due priority in her absence. So then he says, I'm traveling for work at the moment, but would love to connect to talk status and next steps with you ASAP. Please let me know if there's a time Monday that we could talk. So something's happening behind the scenes, and so I'm pretty excited about that. So this was a really interesting email to get, so I thought I would share that with you guys. It shows that at least at this point, they're still interested in working with us on a reality show of some kind. I still, I don't know quite how to think about it. I mean, I would love to do it. I think it would be a lot of fun. I just think it would be a blast to do. I love sharing the stories, and I love getting our staff involved and us bringing our particular brand of what we do on a day-to-day basis, and you know, how we practice medicine and how we interact with our patients, and what our role in the family medicine world is in the whole healthcare world out there, and how we do the things that we do. So anyway, so that was good news, right? That's pretty cool. So we'll promise to keep you guys posted on that too. Okay. And, let's see, am I going to go live on Monday for my fast? So next week, I'm doing something a little bit different than my regular fasts. We finally got our product in. I've mentioned a couple of times before that a number of the, staff members in my clinic had decided that they wanted to start the new year off with a juice cleanse or a cleanse of some kind, and I've never done one before, so I volunteered to play along and be a part of that. And so the product came in this morning. If you all were on the other day when Jennifer was discussing what day one was, so you got a little sneak peek as to all the bottles of what we'll be drinking during the day. And so that works out to about 450 calories, but it's a 3-day cleanse. So I will limit myself to just the cleanse for those 3 days. And so since I'm doing that, and my weight this morning was 196 pounds, I feel like I'm totally okay with doing that instead of fasting this upcoming week. So I'm not going to fast. I'm going to do a 3-day cleanse instead, and then just maintain my whole food plant-based diet. And hopefully my weight will stay right where I like it to be. And for me, watching my weight is a pretty good indication of my nutritional status and how I'm doing with my personal food addiction, loving to eat, and all of that. So anyway, so that's what I'm going to do. Coffee is yes. Yes, coffee is okay. There's no calorie content of coffee unless you add it. So that's perfectly all right. Coffee and tea are both fine. So I hope I answered okay. Yes, I can have black coffee. Okay, so I am ready to open a box. Who's ready for a box opening? Raise your hand if you're ready for a box opening. I see all the hands going up. All right, good. Me, Chrissy. So this box has been previously opened, but not by me, because the DW opened the box and she realized it was supposed to be opened live. So she retaped the box before I got home, and she said, "You got a box. I opened it, but I'm not going to tell you what's in it because you're supposed to open it live." All right. So I do not know what's in this box. Let's open a box. The pocket knife I'm going to be using for opening this box has 4 blades. Watch me cut myself. Right. I believe this is made by Imperial. I am not selling this knife, but I like these knives. This brand is the same brand that does the old timer knives, and they hold it pretty well and they sharpen up good. All right, so I hope it's not a stink bomb. I don't think Chrissy would do that. Do you? You guys don't think Christy would do that, right? I don't think she would either. Okay. So far. Packing material, recyclable. Empty box, and feels kind of like a puzzle box. A lot of Merry Christmas, and I hope this was repurposed Christmas paper. I am into recycling. A box. Oh, I get to use my knife again, don't I? Because the sides of this box are taped. So I don't know if the DW opened it all the way or if she just got to here and realized it was something. Looks like it might have been opened. To Dr. Gilmore from Chrissy Moore. To my favorite doctor that gives us medical advice for free and is passionate about helping others to live healthy. I hope you enjoy your gift. All right. Try that reading backwards. All right. A gift I can really use. Vegan air fryer. So you probably know that I got an air fryer for Christmas, and I've been looking for an excuse to use it and have not used it. So now I have a cookbook. Thanks to Chrissy. Well, you're awesome, Chrissy. Thank you. Taco salad, fried tacos, chicken fried steak. This is all vegan, though. Fried green beans and imitation bacon, baked spaghetti, stuffed baked potatoes, sesame crusted tofu. That sounds good. Kale and potato nuggets. Ooh. Cheesy potato wedges. That could be good. Still looking for a really good way to eat vegan cheese, imitation cheese. So I remain optimistic. Ooh, this looks good. I remain optimistic that I'll find one. Look at that. Buffalo cauliflower. That looks good. And since there's no added oil, right, it'll stay healthy. These are terrific. Roasted barbecue chickpeas. I think we're going to have to try some of these out, guys. What do you think? Hey, Debs. Fried avocado, spinach omelet. Even tells you how to do it all. That looks really fantastic. Okay. So now I don't have an excuse anymore, thanks to Chrissy. I'm going to have to use my air fryer, and I'm going to have to try some of these fantastic looking recipes. Chrissy, thank you so much. You're a wonderful person, and that was very thoughtful of you. So thank you very much. And I'm going to put it to use, I promise. Okay. So I had this list of things. Okay, so your wrapping paper was intact. Good. Okay. So there we go. Thank you. That'll put a smile on my face, all right? Those look like some yummy recipes. Oftentimes I just get into this, eat a banana, have half an avocado, and, and then run, and then get back in, slice up green pepper and put a little tomato in it and do a wrap. And those work for me, but it would certainly be interesting to try some really delicious air-fried recipes. So, good deal. So now I will turn the show over to you, the discussion over to you. Oh, Vanessa, I'm sorry you're not feeling well. Get some rest. Hope you're feeling better. Share the really good recipes. I have an air fryer. Okay, all right, that's fine. I can do that. Buffalo cauliflower is amazing. Have you tried it, Chrissy? Have you made it? Because it really looks good. I was a big fan of those old buffalo wings. I just like the taste, so I can see that being good. Okay, good. Share the really good ones. Okay, I'll do that. No, so that gives me an opportunity and a reason and an excuse to crack that box open and see how that dude works. I'm excited about it. Wonderful, wonderful. So, what's on your mind, gang? What do you guys want to talk about tonight? Anything exciting? Oh, yeah, recommendations. So if you guys have an air fryer and you want to recommend yours, tell us why you like it. That would be awesome. I only have one, so I can't compare. Actifry. So, so here we are on Friday night. It looks like I might be going to the local farmers market in the morning with the darling daughter, with Abby. She said, she asked me earlier and I said probably, and you heard me earlier just a moment ago, I said probably. She did tell me that she completed another video, so I need to be sure that I subscribe. I'm not sure I'm subscribed to her account properly so that it will show up as part of the feed on this channel so that you guys will get a notice, but I'll do that. Fishing is going to be not in the equation tomorrow. We are going to have 12 to 14 mile an hour winds, and we are right on the tip of a cold front coming through. So when we get in the bay is shallow enough so that if we enlarge, so the Galveston Bay area with winds in those speeds, we get 4, 5, even 6 foot swells, and that is not any fun. And it's even more difficult for me because it's rather jarring on the cervical spine. So I did that before, and I won't make that mistake again. The temperature is not an issue for me. I can always layer up. That's not a problem. But when it's windy and you're getting thrown around, that's not a fun way to go fishing in a very shallow bottomed bay boat. So you guys are getting snow. I saw that we were seeing some looked like almost some blizzard kind of conditions moving across the middle of the country. I checked the weather report again just to be sure that I wouldn't be going fishing tomorrow. Okay, so Phillips and Ninja Brand's good. Snow tomorrow. Yep, not good for my neck. So is the party at your house when Sue comes to visit? Well, probably so. Probably so. That would be kind of fun, wouldn't it? Just got weather statement for snow for you guys, Debs, up in Illinois. 8-inch on the ground at 1 o'clock this afternoon. I didn't get a cervical block. What I got, Rita, was an occipital block, which is a specific block to block 2 nerves that start at the base of the skull and actually come straight across and insert at the brows. And I had numbness once the anesthesia part of the injection kicked in. I was in a lot of pain for a few hours before that the other day. But once the anesthesia kicked in and came up to there, Nope, I couldn't feel anything. I mean, you could have operated on my neck, on the back of my scalp. You could have taken a cyst off of me if I had one, and I would not have felt it. I would have felt just the pressure, but no sharp pain whatsoever. So I'm certain the block was effective. The only question is will it be effective enough for me to come back and say, okay, I'm ready to do the stem cell injection. So this is a preamble to me making a decision with my pain management doctor as to whether or not we think a stem cell injection might be effective for me to stop the headaches. If it does work, the stem cell injection is supposed to be effective for as long as a year, which would be fantastic. It is painful to have the injection done because it's done under fluoroscopy, and it is a deep injection, and it goes near the spine, but closer to the facet joints where the spinal nerves exit and the occipital nerves exit, but not like, say, an epidural steroid injection where they go all the way into the epidural space between the bones and the spinal cords. That's a bit deeper injection. So this injection, the medicine fills the soft tissue space and the muscles, and so there's a lot of pain as that expands from the injection. And because they use bupivacaine, which is a longer acting anesthetic agent, but slower to start working agent, I was in pain for a while, but eventually it did start working. And I woke up just fine yesterday, just a real busy day though. So I did not get online yesterday, but so here we are today with all of our news and fun stuff. So hopefully I'll know in about a week. In about a week, if I've not had any headaches, then I will pony up the money for the stem cell injection. So here's the deal. Our insurance does not cover stem cell injections. I would need $2,000 for this special medicine. But right now, if I do it in January, it's half price. So the manufacturer has it on half price. So it would only be $1,000, which that's worth, cracking open the credit card to do if it's going to give me headache relief for as long as a year. That would still be worthwhile to me to do that. So it's one of those things where it's a newer technology. It's a very expensive product. Not all the insurance companies are opting in to covering it. I think there's still a lot of information, a lot of unanswered questions about efficacy. I think it's certainly very safe. The only question is it worthwhile? Are patients going to get these injections, and will they get a lot longer pain relief than they say they would just from a standard injection that might include like what I had the other day? Which sometimes for people will last 6 weeks to 3 months. Back before I had my second neck surgery, I had some injections done that literally only lasted me 2 to 3 days. So we knew that was not going to be an effective route for me. Plus, I was dropping things. My hands were shaking terribly, and I was getting very weak. Now I've got the strength back in my hands again. And the tremor is virtually gone. I mean, it's still a little bit, but I mean, it's nothing like it was before. So I'm feeling a lot better. If I get stem cells injected, do I think I'll grow leaves? Yes, the leaves will actually come out of the ears. And so birds should be able to build nests in the branches. Ruler, I just got to hand it to you. Thank you so much. Yeah, if you're in a lot of pain and you can afford to do it, then you're going to do it. And even if you can't afford to do it, if you can get your hands on the money and budget it out, you're probably going to do it too. So, yeah, cost is high. Fortunately, I have the ability to do it, so I will. If I decide that it's going to potentially be beneficial, I will pay the money. There will still be a part of the procedure that is still covered by insurance. The actual ultrasound guided injection would still be covered. The anesthetic would be covered. The office visit time would be covered. The only thing that wouldn't be covered would be the fact that while the injection is being done, my anesthesiologist is going to take another syringe and he's going to put stem cells in. That part would not be covered. I would pay that out of pocket. So there we go. Free eggs from the bird nest growing. on the branch out of my ears. Just gotta love you guys. You're awesome. Keep me smiling. Good. So questions. I've given you a lot of stuff here in the last 39 minutes. We talked about a lot of things going on, a lot of interesting things. Certainly the email I got from the production company kind of was exciting to get today. And so that was, really uplifting. Visiting a patient who's probably going to pass away soon was emotionally kind of in the other direction, but a lot of joy in my heart from being able to share that experience with them, right? Okay, so here's a question. Wife of a fishing buddy had a heart valve replaced with one from a pig heart. I asked her if she could eat bacon or pork without being considered a cannibal. You should just go ahead and let those go out to everybody. I don't know if you guys can read that, but that's actually pretty funny. So pigs are cannibals. I believe pigs will eat other pigs. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. So we're talking about whether... Imelda, you need a pain management doctor. So what you do is you go to your primary care doctor and you discuss your pain management needs and that you would like a referral to see a pain management doctor. And I'm sure your family doctor will be more than happy to point you in that direction and get that approved for you. Most insurance companies will go ahead and approve the visit with the pain management doctors pretty quickly. And then usually if they determine that you have a legitimate pain need, their insurance companies here in the U.S. are under a lot of pressure to cover procedures for people with chronic pain because we are in the midst of a battle against opioid abuse. So the alternative is injections, right? So there you go. Chrissy, St. Louis with 8 inches of snow, Illinois. It's coming your way. I think it is moving across. I think that's right. Core, hi. Haven't seen you in a while. Welcome, welcome. So I would like to ask you all, who timed out Suzanne? You timed him out? Okay. I would like, we had some interesting discussion that developed. As many of you know, I've been in contact for some time with Josefa Reina, and I've been a fan of hers for a long time. And I've commented on some of her videos in the past. And I think she's a fantastic pimple popper. I mean, she is a legitimate, true pimple popper. That is what she does. And a lot of people really enjoy watching what she does in the relaxing format that she creates with the music in the background. There's almost no speaking that occurs during her videos, and I think she does that on purpose because Spanish is her language. So I think that for the most part, it's just the experience of combining the music, the relaxation, and then seeing the expression of the comedones. And what I found fascinating about it was watching the patients that would come in for multiple visits and how much their acne would improve and how much better their complexion would be, because that was new to me from a medical standpoint. That's not something that I had been taught, that the regular expression of comedone, even if you can't see them, would prevent, it makes sense, of course, but it would prevent cystic acne from forming in many cases. So I enjoyed watching that, and I enjoyed learning something from an esthetician from another country. I thought that was amazing. And so, but her problem she had the same problem that many doctors on YouTube had, was that, and we went through this too, and obviously we pulled our videos off, and we were so disgusted by the fact that we just woke up one day and they, basically blacklisted all our videos from sharing in any of the YouTube revenue that was being earned through advertising from corporations. So they cast a very large net, and I think that they probably did improve their image some by getting rid of some really bad content that was, and also they had a lot of fake views happening through robots and etc. But she got caught up in that, as did we, as did a number of physicians who, through their frustration, they just stopped producing videos. And so I've been in contact with her, and I said, look, let us see if we can't help you develop an income back from your videos through product sales, because that's the only way to do it now. And we get a lot of grief because we put Meta 7 ads of some kind of ad on every video now. Well, there are people who depend on those products being sold for us to earn money to do the video editing and uploading and all of that. I'm simply not able, either with the amount of time that it takes and or the fact that me spending a lot of time working on a computer causes me neck pain. So it's kind of out of the question for me. So I have a group that I work with that does this for me. And unfortunately, in some cases, there's some negative stuff about them out there, and there's some misconception that they somehow are responsible for some people leaving YouTube. And I don't believe that's the case. If it is the case, I don't know anything about it. But I believe it was more the fact that we went through what we all went through with YouTube and Google and their advertising system, and that they went through a lot of different kinds of changes. They were very unclear as to what they were going to do. They would tell us one thing, and then a month later they would tell us something else, and then a month later we would just get a whole different set of rules. We'd have to go back. We'd have to re-edit. It became very frustrating. And then the last straw was they just blacklisted all of us. So I think a lot of doctors that were producing really cool stuff just stopped because, like in the example of Josefa Reina, and I'm going to lump her in with doctors, even though she's an esthetician. She's not a doctor, but she's a provider of sorts. She was providing those hours and hours worth of care for those patients free of charge, which is admirable. I think it's wonderful that she was doing that. But she can't afford to put all that time in and not have it produce some revenue, because she has an office to pay for. She has a staff to pay for. She just can't afford to do it. She was very upset that she couldn't afford to continue to do the things that she had been doing, because in the beginning she was actually getting a check from YouTube from the advertising, but then it just stopped. And so it was simply a financial decision. She just couldn't afford to do it. So I suggested, let us try to help develop an income stream for you. So if you watch a Josefa video that we have put up, for example, the introductory one that I put up on my main channel, and underneath that video in the video description box, you'll see links. You'll see a link to a pimple popping kit. You'll see a link to Meta 7, and I think even some other things. If you click those links and you make a purchase, Josefa Reina gets paid, okay? And that's the bottom line. That goes to her. So if you want to support her, then you have that opportunity. If you don't, if you just want to watch and you don't feel like you need to do any of that, then don't. Nobody's going to be upset about that. But what was bothersome to me was, first of all, I was accused of stealing her video when we were really clear that we were trying to help her reestablish. And the second thing was that they were blaming our editing team for putting other people out of business, which I don't believe was true. And then people on YouTube a lot of times just don't feel like they should ever have to pay anything for the content. And, that's fine. You don't. You can just turn it right on. You can watch it. You don't have to pay anything. You don't have to participate. From that standpoint, if you've got a computer and you have access, even a small device, you can watch. You don't ever have to pay a thing. And for those people that produce for YouTube and they show people, doing crazy things like running around, bonking somebody on the head and then running, and YouTube allows that to be advertised, they're getting paid for that. And in many cases, it's a lot of money. If they have millions of subscribers, they're getting paid I promise you, it is a lot of money. And then you have somebody like Josefa who does this beautiful work. It's the human body, and we tend to say, oh, that's disgusting. Nobody wants to see that. But in truth, a lot of people want to see that. And then to say that that should be blocked because it's too graphic, just my mind just can't really get wrapped around that. I don't understand that. So, but I understand that they had to make the decisions they had to make because they had to make the most advertisers happy. And so they do what they have to do. So there you go. So if you see an advertisement on her video, and soon, and I haven't checked on the All-Star channel, but when you see those videos of her, if you click on the links on her videos, she gets paid. And it will take us a few months to get that income stream going to where she'll be able to afford again, I think, to produce new videos. And that's really what I want Josefa to be able to do. I want her to be in a situation where she'll be able to produce new videos because she really wants to do that. She just simply can't afford it. So I made a video complaining and answering questions and trying to be polite to explain again. And I think people are starting to finally figure out, okay, we're really not just, you know, trying to steal from Josefa or anything like that. We really are going about this, I think, in a good way and in a genuine way. We're putting our time and effort into it to help her to develop an income stream. It would be dishonest to say that we won't earn something doing that, because we will earn a small amount of money, but the lion's share of the profits will go to her. Okay, so any monies that we acquire will strictly go back into the cost of production of the videos. For example, if a person orders Meta 7 here in the United States and it's off of that link that's on her box, then she will get the profit on that. I will get reimbursed for the cost of producing the Meta 7, which I think is just fair. So, all right, there we go. So how about any of that? I don't get grief over Meta 7, I think, any more than anybody else does. I think that that's part of the reason why I don't want to talk about other doctors too much because it's not my place. And I think that a lot of doctors here will look at my work and maybe not like it or see something they would do different. And I would look at their work and I would see something and maybe not like it and suggest that something be done differently. I'm not going to critique somebody who has a limited specialty in their specialty area. That would be silly. That would be as silly as somebody who's in a limited, it would be as silly as a neurologist telling me what's the best way to treat a patient who has diabetes, hypertension with a history of stroke, and has a weight problem, whether or not the antidepressant I've selected for them is correct or not. It would be really silly for them to make that, because they would be so far out of their league that it would be foolish, because they're not anywhere near doing what I'm doing. And I am not anywhere near doing what these other physicians are doing. They are doing their limited specialties. And so if they're doing a limited specialty, they darn well better be the very best at it. And they better never make a mistake, because if they do, they're going to be tremendously criticized by their own members, their own specialty members. That's called peer review. And I can tell you, I've seen lots of videos out there that I really have questions about. And I've held my tongue about it because that's not my place to do. And I think that there are others that have watched my videos and just shook their heads and said, you know, Dr. So-and-so is so much better. You should go learn from that doctor. Well, I think that if I wanted to devote myself and go back and do a residency training program in a subspecialty area, in a limited specialty area, and then you wanted to make that call, then I would think it would be fine. Otherwise, I think it's a very uneducated, it's a very ignorant viewpoint. And I don't mean ignorant in a negative standpoint, in a negative connotation. I mean, it's just they don't know. By ignorant, I mean they just simply don't understand the differences. It would be just as silly if you were a patient and you were visiting your cardiologist and you noticed that you also had a urinary tract infection. Would you ask your cardiologist to prescribe antibiotics for a UTI? The answer is obviously you would not. And if you did, your cardiologist would just look at you like, I don't even know what to give you, because they don't do that. That's not their limited area. Their area is very limited to just one little area, the heart or the vascular system. And if you're a dermatologist, it's just the skin. If you are ear, nose, and throat surgeon, then that's your area. You know nothing about taking care of diverticulitis. And if you do, I'd be surprised. So, and if you're treating these areas outside of your medical specialty, if you are a limited specialist, then you probably need to justify that. I don't think that if you're a psychiatrist, we should expect you to take a cyst out, right? It's just not something you do. So my particular area of medicine is family medicine, and it is a very broad spectrum field. We are a primary care specialty. We are not secondary care. And sometimes I have to educate the cardiologist, or I have to educate the neurologist or the pulmonologist and let them know that I appreciate their recommendation, but I think that for my patient, who I am the expert in, I'm the expert in that patient. That's my expertise. That medicine's not the right choice. And I'll override their decisions, and they may not like it, but that's too bad, because I am the patient's, I'm their doctor, and they're doctors too, but they're limited, and they are probably an expert, hopefully, in that area, but they're not an expert in my patient. And so that gives me the responsibility of helping my patients get the best medicines for their collection of problems, as opposed to looking at them as just a set of lungs, or just kidneys, or just a psychological set of issues, or what have you. So that's the Josefa story. And so I'm curious what you guys are saying or thinking about Josefa, and do you think that we're doing the right thing? Hi, Mary. If you think that if you think that we're doing the wrong thing, I'd like to know why. I'll respectfully hear your opinion. And you know, I respect other people's opinions, even if I disagree with them, because I understand that people have their opinions. They're based on their life experiences, and their experiences are different than my experiences, and they have a right to their opinions, even if I tremendously disagree with them. So I hope it's the right thing, and I hope it works out. I can't guarantee that her fans are going to step up to the plate and make purchases for Josefa. If they don't, then the effort will have failed, and if the effort fails, well, then we will say, hey, we did our best, and I'm sorry it didn't work. She'll make some money, which is more than she's doing now. But whether or not it'll be enough to make a big difference for her, I can't answer. Hi, Miss Christina.
Hello.
Is it bedtime for you?
It's bedtime for me. But you can stay too much.
But I don't want to make too much noise if you're going to bed. Are you sure?
I'm fine.
I won't go too much longer, I promise.
Okay.
Okay. So we've been on 58 minutes. Our house guest is out here in the barn door, and she is going to bed. So I'm actually louder probably, and it echoes a little bit in here. So I will, we're going to wrap this up in 10 minutes, guys. Okay. We're going to be polite to our guests. And bear with me. Okay. So I'm glad I'm seeing a lot of you guys are saying that you're liking the idea. And I think I appreciate that. So we had a troll in the other day, and so we got kind of goofy the other night and had a lot of fun and let everybody be a moderator for a while. If you'd like to be a moderator, you can let me know. And if I recognize you, I will be more than happy to allow you to be a moderator. Please be nice, and please don't put my darling wife in time out. somebody, I got in trouble for that. So we're kind of wrapping it up a little bit because Christina's come in. And so I've got 59 minutes in right now and some change. So in 10 minutes, we're going to conclude our visit this evening. So we covered a lot of ground, and so we missed it. Just amazing how much stuff accumulates, right? After just missing one night. Had not heard of her before, but I think it's great that you're helping her out. Well, thank you, Ruler. I appreciate that. Imelda, Dr. G, I can't find your office where you're located. Then if you can't find my office, I'm not sure why, because if you put John Gilmore, MD, you're only going to get about 5 choices, and only one of those is in primary care. There is a John Gilmore, MD, who is in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and he is a limited specialist in ear, nose, and throat. There actually is another one in Houston, and I'm not sure what he does. And I think there's another one in another state, maybe Maryland. But my nose is twisted out of shape. I volunteered and was ignored. Patsy, I don't know why you think you were ignored. I'm pretty sure you are a moderator. So the name of my clinic, if you're having trouble finding me, is Cypress Lakewood Clinic. And we are in we're in Cypress, which is kind of a suburb of the Houston area. We're in the northwest part of Houston. I see you looking down when you read chat. Important clue. Oh, yes. Yeah, no, I think you're right. When I bend my head down often, it does kind of contribute, Ruler. I think you're right. So I will go back. Oh, we've got Abby. So Abby, would you like to, can you tell us the name of your channel so we can give you a little plug about your video? I'm going to see if I can find it for you real quick. Got to support the darling daughter. I found it. And now I am subscribed. Okay, here we go. So here's Abby's channel. If you click on that and click subscribe, make sure you click the little bell. I think you have to click a little bell. And also I subscribed, and I will see if I need to click a little bell or something. I don't see the bell, but hopefully that will show up on my feed too here, so that if you guys log on here and you see that she has uploaded something, then if you would like to watch her video, you can. If I click on 3 dots next to the person's name, the first option is go to channel. I am learning all kinds of new things. Report, remove, hide. Oh, I don't get that. Put user in timeout, hide, and add moderator. So maybe it's different for you guys. Why are some big pimples in green color? Because they have bacteria in them. That's why. Hope that answers that. So I think Abby worked on the video today, didn't you? Well done. And on Friday, yes. I think she said she would have it done by Friday, didn't she? That's pretty good. So so Abby, I have subscribed to your channel, and so if you post something new, it should show up on this channel too. And the DW is going to, yes, I'm going to cook something. Absolutely. And I'm thinking those buffalo, but was it buffalo cauliflower? That looked really wild. There's some interesting stuff in here. Actually, it doesn't just, this book's good. It doesn't just give you recipes. It also tells you Air Fryer 101, how to use your air fryer. So I'm going to be reading about that. Health of your choice, what to expect in the recipes, what you'll find, terms, techniques, and heads up, temperature, serving sizes, etc., safety information. Okay, and then some vegan basics. So this looks like a really good tool. Chrissy, I'm going to tell everybody that this is called the Vegan Air Fryer, and it's by JL Fields. So if anybody wants to check this out, you can. Or if you want to wait till I do some of the recipes to see, you might want to do that too. Oh, show it again. The Vegan Air Fryer from Chrissy Moore. She sent this to me as a gift. That was very sweet of her, and I appreciate it very much. It was a very thoughtful gift because she knew that I had received an air fryer for Christmas, and I have yet to use it. I need to because it's already the 11th of January, so it's time. Okay, so 4 minutes to go. I will entertain any question that anybody has. So we have a few more minutes. If I can answer it in 5 minutes, I will do it. You're getting lag, Abby. I'm sorry. I did an internet speed test before I set this live broadcast up, and we had really outstanding internet speed. So even the app or the program said very fast internet. So that was pretty cool. Mary W., good night. Good night. Thanks for dropping in. Vi asked one way up there. I'm going to look up. All right, I'm going all the way to the very top. Coming down. Hopefully you asked it in caps to make it easy for me to find. Let's see, you said, hi, Debs, how was dinner? DW didn't open it because it was in the wrapping paper. That's right. I hope Vanessa is feeling better. And I think she's gone to bed. I hope so. I hope she's getting some rest, and I hope she just has a cold and is going to get better. And okay, yeah, the buffalo cauliflower, that's what we're going to try. Okay, please share the really good ones. Got that. I see, Vira, you said it's that great. You have a question. Aha. No fishing, you said. That's right. Probably no fishing tomorrow. She did good. Let's see. Moving down. Don't want to miss an important question. 10 to 12 in snow tomorrow for Robin. I want to see some snowmen pictures from you guys. Those of us in Texas, we don't see cool snowmen. So if you're getting snow, I would like to see some snowmen pictures. If you send me some cool snowmen pictures, I'm going to make sure, or snow women pictures, or snow people pictures. If you send me snow people pictures, then I will spotlight them. Let's see. Still don't see. Rhonda says 4 a.m. in the morning. Hope you're feeling better. Thank you. It was very sweet of you, Rhonda. I appreciate that. We talked about Imelda needing a pain management doctor. Vi, I'm not seeing your question yet. Somebody really knocked out a lot of the James Bland Show's stuff. I see that happened. Let's see, grow leaves out of the ears. We talked about that. Something, how much do I have so far? Snow. Let me know how it works. Yes, I will. Cannibal. I think James Bland is asking, do we like to read? And the answer is yes. I don't think he was being mean. I'm not sure. I don't think so. Kristen said, Dr. G, I have those holes in my ears that you mentioned this morning. I'm asymptomatic, I believe, but is there anything I need to watch out for? I was told that they were enlarged pores since birth. Those are actually tracts. It is called branchiotic syndrome. And if they've not caused you problems by now, they are probably not ever going to cause you problems. Still looking for Vi's question. How do you spell her name? Ooh, I'm not sure who we're talking about. Let's see. If I sit in front of my computer and look straight ahead, have the DW look from the side of your eyes and screen, your eye level should be about a third of the way down. Am I too... is that right? Is that about right, guys? Right there? I like to read if you're asking me, James Bland. I sit in front of the computers for about 10 hours a day, and this works. Okay, you know, actually, this feels pretty good right here. YouTube is a job, guys. It's a lot of work. Can I print her name here? The person that timed you out, I don't even recognize. Are we talking about Josefa? Oh, was that the question? Vi, I hope you by now have retyped your question, because apparently I am ineffective at finding your question. And I'm looking a little bit more. I did my office. That wasn't yours though, Vi. And then we got to Abby and her channel. Okay, video was awesome. Why are some pimples green? We talked about that. We'll be cooking for you in the air fryer to the DW. What is the name of the cookbook? Was The Vegan Air Fryer by J.L. Fields. And so Vi, I missed your question. I don't see it. Violet asked, if you lost 50 pounds, do I have extra skin? No, I don't. That's a great question. I don't have any. I mean, if I had extra, you'd see it here. I have fairly elastic skin, so that's what you see. I don't have any around the waist, so I think I'm okay. And yes, I did lose 50 pounds. Actually, at one point I was almost 60 pounds, and right now I am down 53 or so pounds because I'm maintaining. All right, that's enough for tonight, guys. I promised. So we're going to go ahead and call it an evening. And thank you all for participating, and thanks for your comments and letting me share our stories today. And I enjoy it so very much. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Love you all. Oh, people in general, yes. Most people, if they drop 50 or more pounds, they will get some skin folds, yes. If you lost 70 pounds, you will see some loose skin. And sometimes that'll go away over time. Sometimes it will not, and it has to be surgically repaired if you want to get it fixed. Okay, so love you all, and good night. Thanks, and let's do this again soon, and I will certainly keep you posted on all the exciting things that we possibly can. So see you later.